If you feel stuck right now, like no matter how hard you try, you keep failing, don't scroll away. What I'm about to tell you might completely change how you see your life. The people you admire for their success didn't start with confidence, clarity, or wins. They started with rejection, mistakes, and moments where quitting felt easier than continuing. And if you're in that place today, this might not be the end of your story. It might be the exact moment where everything begins to change. The biggest success stories you admire today were not born out of comfort, confidence, or instant victory. They were shaped in moments of repeated failure, quiet disappointment, and relentless self-doubt. This truth is uncomfortable because it challenges the fantasy we love to believe that successful people are somehow different, luckier, or gifted with an unbreakable confidence from the beginning. In reality, most extraordinary achievements are the visible tip of an iceberg built on years of unseen setbacks. Failure is not a detour on the road to success. It is the road itself. Every fall, every rejection, every mistake becomes a brick in the foundation of something greater, but only for those who choose to stay in the fight. Think about how failure actually feels. It feels personal. It feels humiliating. It feels like proof that you are not good enough. When something doesn't work out, your mind doesn't just criticize the plan, it attacks your identity. You start questioning your intelligence, your talent, your worth. This is the moment where most people stop. Not because they lack ability, but because failure convinces them that stopping is safer than trying again. Yet the people who eventually succeed are not the ones who avoid this pain. They are the ones who learn how to walk through it without letting it define them. They understand something crucial. Failure is feedback, not a final verdict. Consider Thomas Edison, a name synonymous with invention and brilliance. What is often left out of his story is the sheer volume of failure he endured. He tested thousands of materials before finding the right filament for the light bulb. Thousands. Imagine failing over and over again while the world watches. Critics mock you, and doubt whispers that you are wasting your life. When asked about his failures, Edison famously said he had not failed but found thousands of ways that didn't work. This wasn't a clever quote, it was a mindset. Each failure narrowed the path towards success. Without those repeated failures, the breakthrough would never have existed. His success was not despite failure, it was because of it. Failure forces you to grow in ways success never can. When you succeed too early, you often build confidence without competence. You believe in yourself without truly knowing your limits. Failure strips away illusion. It shows you where you are weak, where your preparation is lacking, where your strategy needs refinement. It humbles you, but in that humility lies strength. Every time you fail and choose to continue, you develop resilience. You become emotionally tougher. You stop fearing judgment. You stop needing validation. This inner strength becomes a silent advantage that others can't see, but you can feel. J.K. Rowling's journey is another powerful example. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was rejected by 12 publishers. 12 times, her story was deemed unworthy. She was a single mother, struggling financially, dealing with depression, and carrying the weight of constant rejection. Each rejection could have been a signal to quit, to choose a safer path. Instead, she held on to the belief that her story mattered. Those failures refined her persistence, strengthened her belief, and prepared her for the scale of success that would eventually come. Had she been accepted on the first try, the victory might have felt satisfying. But after repeated rejection, success became transformational. Repeated failure also teaches patience, a quality that is essential for long-term success. In a world obsessed with instant results, patience feels outdated. We want progress now. We want recognition now. But meaningful success operates on a different timeline. Failure slows you down, forces you to sit with discomfort, and demands endurance. Over time, you learn to separate urgency from importance. You stop chasing quick wins and this patience becomes a competitive edge because most people quit long before results have time to appear. Look at athletes who reach the top of their sport. What we see on game day is the polished performance, the confidence, the celebration. What we don't see are the years of losses, injuries, missed shots, and brutal training sessions. Michael Jordan, often called the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his high school varsity team. That rejection didn't destroy him, it fueled him. He didn't interpret failure as a sign to stop, but as a challenge to rise. He practiced harder than anyone else. His repeated failures on the court, missed shots, lost games, taught him discipline, focus, and mental toughness. Those lessons became the backbone of his legendary success. Failure also sharpens your sense of purpose. When things come easily, you rarely ask yourself why you are doing them. But when you fail repeatedly, the question becomes unavoidable. Why am I still trying? Why does this matter to me? If your reason is shallow. Failure will expose it quickly. Only a deep personal purpose can survive repeated setbacks. This process is painful, but it is clarifying. It separates temporary interests from true callings. Those who succeed long-term are not driven by applause, they are driven by meaning. Even in everyday life, success built on repeated failure is deeply relatable. Think of someone learning a new skill, speaking a language, starting a business, learning to drive, or pursuing higher education. The early stages are full of mistakes. Words are mispronounced. Decisions go wrong. Confidence feels fragile, but each mistake contains information. Over time, patterns emerge. You learn what works and what doesn't. Slowly, almost invisibly, competence grows. One day, you look back and realize that what once felt impossible now feels natural. That transformation did not happen in a moment of success. It happened through countless small failures. Failure also teaches empathy. People who have never failed often lack compassion because they don't understand struggle. Those who have failed repeatedly develop a deeper understanding of others. They become better leaders, better mentors, better humans. They know what it feels like to fall short, to feel lost, to doubt themselves. This emotional intelligence becomes a powerful asset, especially in fields that involve working with people. Success built on failure is not just stronger, it is wiser. There is also a quiet confidence that comes from surviving failure. Not the loud, fragile confidence that depends on praise, but a grounded belief in your ability to handle whatever comes next. Once you've failed and survived, failure loses its power over you. You realize that it didn't kill you, it didn't define you, it didn't end your story. This realization is liberating. It allows you to take bigger risks, to aim higher, to pursue goals that once felt intimidating. Ironically, embracing the possibility of failure increases your chances of success. Many people misunderstand failure because they treat it as an identity instead of an event. They say, "I failed, so I am a failure." But successful people separate who they are from what happened. They say, "This failed, so I need to adjust." This subtle shift changes everything. It keeps your self-worth intact while allowing your strategy to evolve. Repeated failure then becomes a process of refinement rather than a series of defeats. History is filled with innovators, leaders, and creators who were ignored, rejected, or ridiculed before they were celebrated. The common thread is not talent alone, but persistence through failure. They stayed when it would have been easier to leave. They believed when there was no external evidence to support that belief. They kept showing up not because success was guaranteed, but because quitting would have meant betraying their potential. If you are in a season of repeated failure right now, it does not mean you are off track. It may mean you are exactly where you need to be. This phase is building something in you that success alone never could. It is teaching you resilience, patience, clarity, and courage. These qualities cannot be rushed, and they cannot be faked. They are earned through experience, and failure is the teacher. The biggest success stories are not fairy tales with smooth beginnings. They are survival stories. They are about people who refuse to let failure have the final word. They are about turning setbacks into stepping stones, rejection into redirection, and disappointment into determination. Your failures are not evidence that you should stop. They are evidence that you are trying something meaningful. So take action, even if fear is still present. Try again, even if confidence feels low. Learn from what didn't work, adjust your approach, and move forward with intention. Do not wait to feel ready, because readiness often comes after action, not before it. Trust that each failure is shaping you for the success you cannot yet see. One day, someone may look at your life and call it an overnight success. They will admire the result without seeing the years of struggle beneath it. But you will know the truth. You will know that your success was built on repeated failure, on moments when quitting felt tempting but continuing felt necessary. And that knowledge will be your greatest achievement, not just the success itself, but the strength you gained becoming the person capable of sustaining it. Remember this, your failures are not proof that you are falling behind in life. They are proof that you are brave enough to move forward while others stay comfortable. Every setback you faced has already strengthened you more than you realize. You are not broken, late, or incapable. You are being shaped. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice to let failure silence you or to let it sharpen you. Choose to rise with what you've learned. Choose to take one small courageous step today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, today, because purpose is not found at the finish line. It is built every time you refuse to quit. Trust the process, honor your struggle, and keep going. Your future success is not waiting for you to be perfect, it's waiting for you to be persistent.